But first this evening, the Admiral on the Hill. You know, for most of America, he was relatively unknown just a few days ago, until the Secretary of War revealed that Admiral Frank Bradley oversaw the multiple strikes on a suspected drug boat. Today, lawmakers heard from the Admiral himself as he briefed some of the most important committees in Congress as to what he saw, what happened, why he did it. All it comes amid the backdrop of a major decision as well from the Commander-in-Chief, potentially involving U.S. forces and Venezuela. In a moment, we'll speak with one of the congressmen who was briefed by the Admiral. Adam Smith is the ranking member of the Armed Services Committee. But first, out to our Joe Khalil live up on Capitol Hill with the details of what he said behind closed doors. Joe?
Hey, Blake, and it's important to remember that senators and lawmakers, not only did they get a briefing from Admiral Bradley, but they also saw the video from that September 2nd double strike when it happened. So they came away from that with two very different assessments based on whether you're talking to a Republican or a Democrat, it seemed like. No one disagreed on the facts of what happened. There was a second strike on two survivors that killed them. But what they disagreed on was whether those two men were either in a position to become a threat to military personnel there, or whether they were sort of helpless and defenseless and could have been apprehended rather than being killed. That is where the difference is, Blake. Take a listen to both Senators Tom Cotton and Mark Warner, the top Democrat and Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committees. Again, different assessments here.
Video was very disturbing, and I think Congress needs to see it. I think as well that the legal opinion underlying this whole policy actions, frankly, needs to be released publicly.
If you think these strikes are justified and righteous, as I do, and I want them to continue, then of course the second strike, when you have two survivors who are trying to flip their boat back over and continue on their mission, remain in the battle.
Blake, we know that there were subsequent strikes after that where there were survivors that were not killed but were apprehended, so different scenario than the strike that we are now talking about. We also found out that Admiral Bradley told lawmakers there was no kill everyone order from Secretary Hegseth, as was previously reported. There are now calls, Blake, for the Department of War to publicly release this video.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.